wife and I started their Best Life Dog Sanctuary a few years ago, helping dogs that are in need. There's so many dogs that are mostly in the South that are born in the streets. They end up in these kill shelters and eventually they're euthanized. And we have decided to concentrate or put our efforts towards senior dogs and dogs that have maybe some physical issues that nobody wants. We think they deserve to have their best lives. We're also working with local U.S. veterans associations. U.S. veterans will have a place to live in our sanctuary. They'll be taking care of the same dogs every day in and out. And they get paid for it. And we're not only saving dogs left, but we're also enhancing U.S. veterans left. Our mission is to go after those dogs and be able to save anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 dogs a year.
Welcome to our Afluencer podcast. Great cause and collab that we're going to talk about today. We're bringing on Mansour Tabibnia. He is the co-founder and chief fundraising officer for their Best Life Dog Sanctuary, which is an awesome nonprofit that we're going to start talking about here with Mansour. Helps save dogs, all this great stuff. I know we have lots of pet influencers, dog owners like myself, dog enthusiasts on the podcast. So excited to learn about Mansour's nonprofit here, their great cause, and then also discuss their collab and how we can help pitch in and help raise money for their Best Life Dog Sanctuary. So Mansour, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And can you kind of kick it off and maybe describe a little better than I did about their Best Life Dog Sanctuary?
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're delighted to be on your show. We been at this, mission for a while. My wife and I started their Best Life Dog Sanctuary a few years ago, and we basically wanted to have a mission put together that reaches beyond the borders of United States and helping dogs that are in need. As many of dog owners, dog lovers know, there is tremendous amount of dogs that are on kill lists this day and age because of many reasons, either overpopulation or because there's so many dogs that are mostly in the South that are born in the streets, and people don't know what to do with them. They end up in these kill shelters and eventually they're euthanized. So we basically started this sanctuary to be a small, a dent in this big problem, which I think we're going to be very successful at because of how we put this mission together. We have decided to concentrate or put our efforts towards senior dogs and dogs that have maybe some physical issues that nobody wants. And we think they deserve to have their best life. So we're here to do that. And we will be taking these dogs into our sanctuary and basically with the idea of that they're going to be at our sanctuary forever, unless we find them a home. There are people who love senior dogs. As a matter of fact, last week we took a dog into our own house that is 10 years old that somebody didn't want. They just wanted to give it to the kill shelter. My wife fell in love with it, so we took it in. So our mission is to go after those dogs and be able to save anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 dogs a year. One of the other things that we are doing in our dog sanctuary, which we think will kill two birds with one stone, no pun intended, of course. We don't want to harm animals, but we're also working with local U.S. veterans associations to be able to have veterans to be our caretakers for the dogs. Two things happens here. Number one, dogs will have a few dogs at a time will have a single caretaker. U.S. veterans will have a place to live in our sanctuary, and they'll be taking care of the same dogs every day in and out, and they get paid for it. And we're not only saving dogs left, but we're also enhancing U.S. veterans left. We're right now, as we speak, are in the process of, locking a 25-acre property, which will have close to 150 I would say, single family dwelling on it. These are prefab properties, I'm sorry, structures that we're going to put together. The farm will have a full-time a rehab and vet hospital on it, an intake center, and also a dog caretaking facility and hotel. So that's what we're in the middle of putting together. Besides the sanctuary, we're running at our own farm. So we are expanding it as much as we can. And we think it brings not only the community together, but it helps us to be one of the small, as I said, small forces in saving dogs.
Yeah, that's really impressive. I mean, small force, but that's a large presence. What inspired you? So I assume that this kind of sounds like it started at your own place, at your own farm, where you took in, a few dogs, started your own sanctuary, and then obviously inspired at some point to go big on that. What was that process like? The thought process on, hey, that's pretty awesome to hear about 150 homes, and we're going to house veterans, and then they're going to help take care of the dogs. I mean, that's a huge operation and undertaking. Sounds great.
I was a former tennis player and athlete, and after living that so-called luxurious life, I went into the real estate business. We became a real estate developer, and our company is still in business. But there's a time that I guess, or I get to my age and it says, what have I done that's good for the world? Some people may come to it, some people may not. We've both my wife and I have wanted to be able to help animals, but we're dog lovers ourselves, and it's good to concentrate on one particular animal they can take off and do it the best way you can. There are other organizations that take in all kinds of animals, which is amazing. We thought we'll probably serve this purpose better if we just concentrate on dogs. And of course, we're dog lovers. Every person who started going down this path, originally they said, if I win the lotto, I'm going to open up a dog sanctuary or animal sanctuary. That will never happen. So with a little blessing that we've had, having a beautiful farm and, being able to succeed in multiple businesses, my wife being an educator, myself being a businessman, there is no better time than now. And, you keep delaying it. There's a time comes to say, okay, put your money where your mouth is. And we decided to do that. And it is an amazing mission to have, and to every dog you take in and you save from a bad situation is you're basically saving the world. So it was a time to as I said, put our money where our mouth is. So we decided to finally do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, sounds very cool. So I assume in terms of finding these dogs, it's pretty, unfortunately, it's probably pretty straightforward, right? You have a relationship with shelters, and especially with your focus on the senior dogs. Who I agree, I've never adopted a dog at the senior age, but I've seen a couple through their senior age, and they're very funny when they get to be. They're kind of like old quirky people. They're really pretty awesome when they get older, and you enjoy that part of their lives. But I assume with the shelters, then there's they're happy to give you the older dogs, or the dogs maybe with we have friends around the block here who are fostering a dog with 3 legs, or actually kind of lost the limb after they decided to foster. But I assume pups like that are no problem finding them from the shelters.
There's tremendous amount. That's probably the biggest problem in being in the mission of saving these dogs. There's a lot of senior dogs. There's a lot of dogs with majority of physical limitations. Those are easy to find. As we speak, if I sit down and look at, not even in the shelters, if I look down, dogs that are found, dogs that are hit by cars, I can probably rescue, without any exaggeration, 500 dogs a week. Very easy to find. And that's just, one problem with this problem that we face. You have overpopulation of just shelters that, start, I guess, euthanizing younger dogs, because there's just so many of them. And then you have a problem of all these, I would call dog farms that just produce, dogs like German Shepherds, Rottweilers, you name it, all kinds of designer even dogs that they don't sell because for very reasons. It could be economics, it could be people just don't have time after COVID. So all those puppies end up in the shelter too. So now you have puppies, 1-year-old dogs, 2-year-old dogs, 3-year-old dogs that are ready on a kill shelter or on a kill list. That's a huge problem. And last but not least, you have all these dogs that are coming through the border. People leave them at the border. You have dogs that are in the Ukraine war. Actually, one of the sanctuaries in Florida has taken tremendous amount of dogs from Ukraine on the borders of Ukraine and Russia that they decided to take in. Right. So that's been the latest problems of as they call it, dogs that are affected by wars around the country. And there's problems also in Turkey, which they want to get rid of all their animals or kill all their animals, which they passed as I guess their Congress passed that they can kill animals. And now people are rushing over there to try to save dogs. I was sitting in a meeting yesterday and I was telling people, listen, if everybody in our, just in my town, in Frenchtown, New Jersey, decided to open up a sanctuary, and we all save 5,000 dogs. It's a small town, but we have about 2,000 population here, and everybody's tried to save 5,000 dogs per year. We will not even make a dent in this global problem. So it is a global problem. It's for my wife and I, who are also vegans and really value the life of an animal, it's a serious issue that we people like us need to fix as long as we're here. So that's our mission for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, it's an awesome mission, and excited to have your collab with us. So let's talk about how influencers can help, whether we're talking about pet influencers or dog owners. How can people get involved with helping their best life dog sanctuary?
I think that at the end of the day, it's all about fundraising and money. It's good to have 100,000 followers, 300,000 followers, but at the end of the day, we need money. We need to be able to bring as much funds in to be able to save as many dogs as we can. We have started I guess a fundraising effort, which is called 1 in a Million. Basically, we are reaching out to people, companies, CEOs, CFOs, sponsors. Hey, give us just $10. We need 1 million people to give us $10 a year, not a month, not per week, just $10 a year. Because I think there are, in this huge population in the world, I think there's 1 million people that are willing to give $10 or more. So that's what it really comes down to. A well-run sanctuary, besides whatever you do personally, the founders of the sanctuary, you need the help of the community and the help of the population, dog-loving population. So that's the main thing for us. Obviously, it helps to reach it with having a big social media presence. It also helps our social media presence in front of sponsors, banks or private companies or even public companies. So I think first and foremost for us is to be able to get involved with people that can help us in this mission of raising funds and expanding to our 25-acre property.
Any preference on content creation style, or are we just kind of letting the creator take control and saying, hey, let's
well, I mean, we can once we collaborate with someone, we have stuff in motion that we can share with them that they can help us. We're on multiple fundraising, I guess, sites that can also help us, including our own sites and our own, fundraising portfolios that we have. So yeah, we have a tremendous amount of content that we can share with them. We do have a few, I guess, individuals that are helping us with our social media. We call them our social media liaison that help on a volunteer basis right now to get us out there. We will be, in a lot of local shows, TVs, and radio coming up in the next few months. Our goal is to be able to expand in our 25-acre property by end of May 2025. Now, what may look like, it might be when we're ready to take 50 dogs, 100 dogs, but at least we're there. You know, as they say, you build it, it will happen. And I think it will happen, and they will come. And more funds and more interest will come towards our way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love the plans already for the expansion. Just so to our influencers watching this, we will get the link to your collab, Mansour, down in the show notes, and you can apply to the collab, and Mansour will review your application. And when he accepts you, then we'll make the intro, and you can talk directly with Mansour and have a great conversation like we are having here. Get you out of here on this one, Mansour. How can people learn more about the Best Life Dog Sanctuary and follow you on social media?
Well, very easily. Our website is www.tblds.org. We have a lot of information on there, and every day we're adding more information about what we're doing, our mission, or how people can help, you know, either collaborate with us, volunteer for us, or fundraise for us. We have a tremendous amount of corporate partners already that are working with us, such as Google, which has helped us a lot with our startup. So there's a lot of information there. There's also, they can reach us directly, myself or the co-founders of the company, my wife and my other business partner. We're always available to talk to anyone for any way that can help you know, our sanctuary. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're also on Facebook, mostly active on Instagram under their Best Life Dog Sanctuary. And we're ready to talk to anyone that can help us.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, I appreciate your availability and openness. So we've got tblds.org is the website, and I've got it up here. So Mansour's got all the shortcut links, donate $10, and info about the Veterans Caretaker Program and all these great dog photos on the site. Mansour Tabibnia with the their Best Life Dog Sanctuary. Thanks again for joining us. It's been an awesome conversation with you and an awesome cause.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it. And thank everyone in advance.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, we will put the link again to the collab so you can apply to it and talk directly with Mansour and see how you can help his awesome cause and help these dogs find their best life at a sanctuary.
Thank you. Thank you.